I will start by inviting His Excellency Ahmed Shide, State Minister of Ministry of Finance and Economic Cooperation, to give us his initial remarks.
Thank you, Moderator Ato Admasu. Good afternoon. Development banks and the financial institutions have key roles to enhance participation of the private sector in development by providing policy guidance and the provisions of development finance. They can help build a strong macroeconomic and investment climate and crowd in private investment. Infrastructure and private sector access to finance, including medium and small and micro enterprises, are key challenges in promoting the development of the private sector in Ethiopia. I would like to highlight two important roles of development banks and financial institutions in supporting the expansion of quality infrastructure and promoting private sector access to finance. First, support to infrastructure development. As you all know, the development of sustainable, accessible, and resilient quality infrastructure is essential to attract private investment. Ethiopia has the third largest infrastructure investment rate in the world. Yet, there is still a strong unmet demand. Meeting this needs presents a significant financing challenge given constraint on existing source of infrastructure finance, particularly in the public sector. Bridging this infrastructure gap will require enhanced financial and technical support from all partners. Both public and private investment have key roles to play in infrastructure financing, including through the development banks and the financial institutions and mechanisms such as public-private partnership and blended finance. Development banks and financial institutions can support infrastructure development through one, supporting countries to improve local planning, preparation, and administration capacity of infrastructure projects. Secondly, they also have a strong track record in direct financing of infrastructure projects and mobilizing private capital, where the need for more resources is even more pronounced. Third, they can promote greater knowledge transfer, project preparation, and implementation support in the form of global and regional platforms and tools, including de-risking and risk allocation mechanism. Fourth, they can strengthen domestic financial systems to support sustainable infrastructure financing. Fifth, they can support private sector participation in infrastructure to leverage improved results regarding reduced time from construction to operation and promote the growingly success of PPP in infrastructure. The second issue I would like to reflect on is promoting private sector access to finance. Providing adequate and sufficient access to finance for investment remains one of the challenges of Ethiopia's private sector development, which we have been addressing over many years. Domestic development banks have been continuously reformed to increase their loan supply to the private sector. The Development Bank of Ethiopia has increased its supply to the private sector supply of credit to the private sector by threefold over the past 5 years, aiming to provide a loan amount of over 100 billion birr over the coming 5 years. The government is giving special attention to supporting SMEs through the recently introduced capital lease financing. Indeed, development finance institutions have much to offer in this line, including support the development of private sector by supporting national development banks, credit unions, and other domestic financial institutions to expand their capacity to finance private sector, including SME. The other is support the capacity of domestic financial institutions to undertake cost-effective credit evaluation. Support in bringing together public and the private sector partners and support PPP, which is public-private partnership, transactions with guarantees, risk insurance, and other risk mitigation measures. And as well as they can directly provide local currency finance to borrowers with limited access. They work through financial intermediaries such as local banks, microfinance institutions, and leasing companies as well. The other important issue is support in strengthening medium, small, and micro enterprises to make them more credit-worthy borrowers through interventions such as capacity building and advisory services as well. The last and important issue is financial institutions can encourage increased lending to SMEs by promoting and reviewing financial regulations that permit use of collateral substitutes and create appropriate exceptions to capital requirements, and the review of risk mitigating measures that have unintended consequences, such as making it difficult for SMEs